Welcome back to Canada Pension Scope, your trusted source for everything related to retirement, senior benefits, and pension updates in Canada. If you're a senior living in Canada, planning for retirement, or helping a loved one navigate their golden years, then this episode is absolutely essential. Today, we're breaking down the biggest changes coming in 2025 to two of Canada's most important senior support programs, Old Age Security, OAS, and the Guaranteed Income Supplement, GIS. These updates could directly affect your monthly payments, eligibility, and even how you plan your retirement strategy. Some of these changes are long overdue, others are raising a few eyebrows, but all of them matter. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and stay with me until the end. Because this video could help you avoid missing out on hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars in benefits. Let's set the stage. Why 2025 matters. As we move into 2025, Canada's senior population is reaching historic levels. By year's end, nearly 1 in 4 Canadians will be aged 65 or older. That's millions of people relying on OAS and GIS to make ends meet. In response, the federal government is making big moves to adjust how these programs work, aiming to make them more flexible, stable, and fair. But for those receiving these benefits or planning to apply soon, even small adjustments can have a major impact on your finances. Let's dive into what's actually changing. Change 1. New OAS Indexation Formula. First up, let's talk about Old Age Security, or OAS. OAS is a monthly benefit for Canadians aged 65 and older who meet certain residency requirements. It's not tied to your work history, meaning even if you never worked a day in Canada, you could still qualify based on how long you've lived here. But here's the first big change. Starting in July 2025, OAS payments will be indexed using a new method. Traditionally, OAS has been adjusted every quarter based on the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, to reflect inflation. But this method could cause sharp swings. If inflation spiked, your payment went up. If it dropped, so did your benefit. Starting in 2025, OAS will instead use a rolling average of the last 4 quarters of inflation. This smooths out the extremes. In short, less volatility, more predictable payments. What does this mean for you? If inflation rises steadily, your OAS will keep up. But if there's a sudden drop in inflation, your payments won't fall off a cliff. It adds a level of stability and predictability that seniors have been asking for. Change 2. Voluntary deferral age increased to 72 now. This next change is huge, especially if you're thinking about delaying your OAS to get a bigger monthly payment. Currently, you can delay your OAS up to age 70, and get up to a 36% boost in your monthly benefit. But starting in 2025, the maximum deferral age is increasing to 72. This means if you delay taking OAS until 72, your monthly benefit could now be boosted by up to 48%. This gives Canadians more flexibility. If you're healthy, still working, or financially secure, delaying OAS could be a smart move. It's now a strategic tool for long-term retirement planning. But remember, delaying isn't right for everyone. If you need income now, you can still take it at 65. But if you're planning ahead, this is a game changer. Change 3. OAS eligibility age remains at 65. Now here's some relief. There were rumors over the last few years that the federal government might raise the eligibility age for OAS, possibly to 67, similar to a plan briefly introduced in 2012 and then cancelled. The good news? That's not happening. At least not in 2025. The government has confirmed that the eligibility age will remain at 65. That's great news for those nearing retirement who were worried about last-minute policy changes. That said, the government hasn't closed the door entirely. Future reviews are possible depending on economic and demographic pressures. So, keep an eye out in coming years. Change 4. Major GIS update. Let's shift to the Guaranteed Income Supplement, or GIS, a benefit designed to help low-income seniors who are already receiving OAS. In 2025, GIS is seeing its most significant overhaul in years. First, the income thresholds for GIS eligibility are increasing. For single seniors, the threshold is rising from just under $21,000 to $23,000 annually. For couples, the threshold goes from about $27,000 to $30,000. This means you can now earn more income from work, CPP, or other sources without losing your GIS. It's a meaningful step that reflects the rising cost of living. Change 5. Higher GIS exemptions for working seniors. Also starting in 2025, the GIS earnings exemption is being expanded. Currently, you can earn around $5,000 without affecting your GIS. There's a partial exemption on income up to about $15,000. But in 2025, the full exemption increases to $6,500. The partial exemption increases to $17,000. This is great news if you're still working part-time or earning freelance income. You'll be able to keep more of your GIS, even if you're still participating in the workforce. This encourages seniors to stay active and financially independent, without facing harsh clawbacks. Change 6. Support for surviving spouses. Here's a compassionate change worth noting. If a senior loses their spouse or common law partner, their GIS is usually recalculated the following year, often resulting in a sudden drop in benefits. Starting in 2025, there will now be a 6-month adjustment period for survivors. That means GIS will not be immediately reduced. This gives grieving seniors time to adjust financially during a difficult emotional period. This change is the result of strong advocacy from senior groups and financial experts. It's a common-sense update that puts people first. Change 7. Automatic annual benefit review. In the past, seniors were often required to report changes to income or personal status that might affect their OAS or GIS. While some information was shared through CRA, errors and delays were common. That's changing in 2025. Service Canada is launching a new centralized system that will automatically review tax returns and personal data annually to determine eligibility and calculate payments. This will reduce overpayments and underpayments, minimize the need for appeals or corrections, make the process easier for seniors, especially those who struggle with paperwork. Just be sure your taxes are filed on time and accurately, because that data will now determine your benefits. Change 8. GIS now integrated into CRA digital portal. Starting in 2025, GIS data will be fully visible in your CRA My Account dashboard. You'll now be able to see your GIS payment history, track clawbacks or changes, view upcoming deposit schedules. This transparency will help you plan ahead and avoid surprises. Change number 9. Regional cost of living adjustment pilot. Now, let's talk about something brand new and potentially controversial. The federal government is launching a 3-year pilot project in 2025 where OAS and GIS payments will be adjusted for seniors living in high-cost regions. These include areas like Toronto, Vancouver, northern remote community. Seniors in these pilot zones could receive a top-up of $50 to $150 per month. This acknowledges the reality that a fixed national benefit doesn't go equally far everywhere. For those in expensive cities, this could be a lifeline. But critics warn it could open the door to benefit inequality, with rural seniors potentially left behind. For now, it's just a pilot, but the results could shape the future of senior benefits in Canada. Let's recap what you need to know. Here's a quick recap of the major changes coming in 2025. OAS indexation is now based on a 4-quarter inflation average for smoother adjustments. You can defer OAS until age 72 and get up to a 48% increase. GIS income thresholds are rising, letting you earn more without losing benefits. The earnings exemption for GIS is increasing to support working seniors. A 6-month survivor buffer is being introduced to prevent sudden loss of GIS. Automatic benefit reviews will reduce paperwork and errors. GIS is fully integrated into CRA's online system for easier access. A regional cost of living top-up is being piloted in select high-cost areas. What should you do? To prepare for these changes, review your income sources and retirement timeline. Consider whether delaying OAS could benefit you. File your taxes on time and accurately. These will now directly affect your payments. Check if your region qualifies for the pilot cost of living top-up. Talk to a financial advisor if you're unsure how these changes impact you. We are living through a pivotal moment in how Canada supports its aging population. These changes reflect a deeper conversation about dignity in retirement, fairness in benefit access, and the realities of today's economy. So stay informed. Stay proactive. And remember, you deserve a secure and dignified retirement. Thanks for watching Canada Pension Scope. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and tap that notification bell so you never miss an update that could affect your income. Leave your questions or feedback in the comments. We try to respond to as many as possible. And let us know what you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, take care of yourself and your loved ones, and keep planning for the future with confidence.